Today, let's go with the another project, which is super important, which is related to your Docker. In Docker itself, we have done so many projects, and you are good inside that already. But I'll not be using the Docker engine, but I'll be using here ECS. Which one? So the problem with the Docker engine is you need to launch an EC2 instance, and then you need to install Docker engine, and then you need to create containers inside it, and you're storing the images locally, or you're storing the images in the Docker Hub. Yes or no? So, um, so just in case if you your containers are still running on the EC2 instance or not, your containers are still running on your EC2 instance. Just in case your EC2 instance is gone, Damal, all your containers are gone or not? Yes, you might have a Docker swarm. You might have Docker swarm, but still there is a risk of terminating the machine, and Docker swarm will not automatically launch one more EC2 instance, right? Manual, right? So it's completely manual. Manual auto scaling is manual on container level, but on the machine level, auto scaling is there. No, right? So there is a risk of having the EC2 instance. Just in case if someone stopped or someone terminated the machine, it's completely gone. For that reason only we have Kubernetes, correct? For automatically auto scaling for us. So here, if you want to have a secure, safe environment to have your containers running, so similarly how you are using Docker engine in your EC2 instance, here in AWS we have an equivalent service called ECS. Say that. All I put in the chat, ECS, Elastic Container Service. As the name clearly says, ECS, Elastic Container Service. And then there is also a service called ECR. Say that. ECR meaning Elastic Container Registry, or that Elastic Container Registry. You can say registry also, you can say repository also. How we have a Docker. So you are using your images and you are using AWS. Why you want to keep your images in Docker Hub in third party? Why can't you use ECR? ECR is nothing. You just need to go and create a repository and start uploading. In Docker Hub, did we play anything on the Docker Hub? No, we created a repository and then we started pushing our images. Similarly here also, we create a repository in the ECR and we start pushing our images. Which images? Docker images. But in order to create the images, first you need to have EC2 instance, and then you need to have, how do you create an image? Using Docker? Using? I have. Docker? Docker? So, guys, there are two ways to create images, right? One is to pull the image from the Docker Hub, or else you can create the image from the Docker file. How many Docker files we wrote? Right? So, Docker file. So, we write a Docker file. In Docker file, we have the components, right? Remember from, remember, yeah, components that you have with you from the Wi-Fi. CMD, expose, env, copy, add. Yeah. So all these things, arguments, yeah. So there are so many things working directly good. So all these things we have. So what we do is we'll create a, so this time we'll website in AWS. So we have the bodyguard website. So we use that website, and then what we do, first we launch one EC2 instance, we'll install Docker, right? And then we will create a Docker file. We'll create a Docker file. No need to create Docker file. Docker file is readily available. It's simple, very simple. Right? And then in the GitHub, I have that website repository where it has all the index pages, or in a bodyguard website. And then what we do is we clone that in our EC2 instance. Docker file, using Docker file, we'll create a Docker image. And from Docker image, we'll create a Docker container or Docker container. So that is a normal method, which is the container is running on your local EC2 instance. But your image is also there on your EC2 instance or not? Is it good to keep the image in your EC2 instance? No. So where do you push this image now? ECR. Where? ECR. So we'll go to ECR and then we'll create a repository, and then you will be learning how to push the image to the ECR from your EC2 instance. Number one. So to set up, we need to set up our platform, right? For that, we'll launch one EC2 instance. We'll install Docker, we'll install Git, and then we'll clone the repository where I have the code, and then we'll write a Docker file, and then create an image and start pushing the image to ECR. Number one. Okay, now. So once we push that image to the ECR, then what we need to do? What we need to do? We need to create a. So you want me to EC2 instance in the EC? Yeah, ECS. ECS. So we will go to ECS, and then we'll start creating the containers, but we don't create a containers concept there. We'll create a cluster there. What's that? Cluster. So we create the ECR cluster there, and then inside that cluster we have the concept called task definitions. We'll provide all these things. And good thing for you here is we'll set up a. Remember, we'll set up a service. We'll talk about it. Okay. ECS. What is the architecture of ECS? We'll set it up, and then what we do on top of it. Yesterday I showed you CI/CD on EC2 instances. Now today I show you CI/CD on ECS also. Super cool, right? Extraordinary. Right, so I show you CI/CD on EC2, and that is on monolithic. So I'm showing the CI/CD on the microservice also. If you have ECS, right? If you have ECS, how to automatically update? If you do in GitHub, if you do the modification, automatically ECS will launch a new containers. Similarly, I showed you this GitOps in Argo CD. Remember? Git operations I showed you GitOps. So GitOps meaning what? If you do any modifications in the Git, so automatically we have modified the YAML file, manifest file, and automatically Argo CD new pods got created or not? That is a continuous deployment for the Kubernetes using Argo CD. I showed you already. Right? And here I'm showing CI/CD for ECS. Should we go and launch EC2 instance first? Install Docker and Git now. Online, you got the overview first. Your next batch is learning Git. In front of it is like, did you be or not? So let's go and launch. So what should I name? AWS DevOps project. Or else you can put Docker, no problem, anything is fine. So Amazon Linux 2. T2 micro. And then yesterday I used 530, today I'll use 730. Okay. Equal justice. నీ కళ్ళు మొత్తం 9 మీద ఉన్నాయి తెలుసు. You could have tried writing certification, no? Anyone? How many of you interested to write certification? AWS certification. You could have start doing it, no? So you're waiting for DevOps. For AWS certification, DevOps is not necessary, right? So as you have completed here, so what you can do is, did I told you about Viz Labs? So go through it, sign up, and then I gave you a coupon also, Vizrias. So yeah, so just go ahead and then do all the practice papers first, and then attempt, and then meet me. Okay. Okay. Sudo hyphen yes. Okay. Yes. Moin by correct. We'll talk on that later. So how to apply? Just go to open Google and type AWS certification login, and then you will get that URL. Just go and schedule how you book the movie tickets. Similarly, you need to book the exam here appointment. Schedule it. Okay. And don't do cloud practitioner. It's a waste of money. $100, right? So solution architect 170, 150 plus GST, 170. Rituraj, but you need to spend a little bit more, put more effort from the certification point of view. Okay, so what's the command to install Docker? First, we need to set up Docker or not? Yeah, so yum install -y Docker. Yeah. You completed, Dinesh? Certification? Oh, solution architect, huh? I see, I forgot. Okay, good. Few days back, good. So there are so many people already completed certification like this, but that some people will say, some people will not say. Simple as that, right? So we completed, but the only thing, what my humble request is, whenever you clear the certification, put a post in our Facebook and then write a review in the Google reviews there that you have completed, so that other people will get the confidence, get inspiration from you that yes, they have completed, we can also complete. Okay, right? So don't forget that. Help others all the time. Okay, so yeah, Dinesh, fine. So what's the command to start it? How to start the Docker system? Start Docker. Okay, fine. So do we have any Docker images here? Docker images. Do we have any Docker images? No. What's the command to see the containers? Docker ps hyphen. Yeah. So AWS certification and solution architect both are different. AWS certifications meaning it has a group of so many certifications, or the entire group we call it as certifications. Inside that you need to pick up which one? Solution architect. Okay. So first of all, what we need to do here? We need to create an image or not? So if you want to create an image, so what we need to have? Docker file. If you want to create a Docker file, first of all, we need to have a code. Yes or no? So for that, where is the code? In the GitHub. So what I need to install? Git command m install -y git. So in GitHub, so in the GitHub, so there is a called website. Do you see this here? So let's get and clone. And do you see this here? We have our stuff here already. Okay. So what we do? What we do? Come to my room. Conference room. Do you need Git in it here? Are you working on any Git things here? What do you need to do? Okay. Next time you should not get this. When to use Git in it? When to use Git clone? If you want to work here and want to push to the GitHub, so then you need to do the Git init. So here I just need to download the files. I don't want to push it back. Then just go and do the Git clone. Okay now. So let's go with the Git clone. So CD website. If you see, we have all the files here. We have all the files. Okay. So here, what we need to do is we need to just write a simple Docker file. I already wrote the Docker file here. 3 lines. What is it? See, from Nginx latest, I'm pulling which image? Nginx. Then what I'm doing? Second line. Copy what? I didn't understand what you're saying. What is the second line is doing? say only index.image will not. So dot meaning here current directory. So inside this current directory, whatever the files that you have, all the files are getting copied to which is our Nginx default directory. USR share Nginx/HTML, and you are exposing using 80. Okay, very basic thing that we wrote on the first day of. Okay, so for this, so first of all, we need to build the image. What's the command to build the image? Docker build -t. So as here website : I'm give what latest and then dot. What is my image name? Website : latest tagger and then dot. So enter. This is done. So if I do Docker images, so I have my website which is tagged as a latest. Okay. So can you create a container? Chuma Professor, tell me how to create a container and we'll access our website. Tell me. Docker run hyphen it. I'll put d hyphen name. That's fine. So what I do is I'll just go and expose the port. What's the port I'm exposing here? Port 8080. And here, what's the image I'm using here? Let's create a container. So if you do Docker ps -a, and you see this container here, if you want to give the name hyphen name and then give it, otherwise it will give the random cool yellow something. You can give hyphen name and then call it as website or whatever it is. But here I'm not interested in creating the container here. That's the reason I just created it. So but anyways, it is exposing or not. So now if I go and put the copy this and put it here. We got our bodyguard website. So Malika, do we need to put 80 at the end? Do we need to put 80 at the end? No, right? So not required. Yeah. Okay, so now we created a container. That's fine, but there is no views. But I'm just saying that we can create a container. But what happens if all of a sudden if my EC2 is lost? It's gone or not? It's lost or not? So for that reason, my image is there. If I have an image, I can create the container anytime or not. But if my image itself is lost, it's a danger or not? And if you can say that, sir, we have the code in GitHub. No, can I create it? Yes, you can create it. Why you want to do that much hangama? Keep your images safe. No. Where do you keep the images now? ECR, where Docker Hub is gone, right? So that is on the Docker concept. Now we are doing the project with ECR, AWS related microservices. Let's go for ECR. In ECR, what do we create now? We create a repository and then we will try to push this local image, to our ECR. Got it? Yeah. Okay, so let's go and create the ECR. Go to ECR. Elastic Container Registry. Okay, let's click on here, create. And then do you see this here? I call it as a website. Say that. I call it as website. So you can give any name, right? So my repository name is here, website, and then let it be encrypted, AES256, and just simply go ahead and then create it. Okay, now whenever you create the ECR, whenever you create a ECR, a URI will be created. What is this here? So we will be using this URI in ECS, where in, remember, ECR meaning repository, ECS meaning service, container service. So here, if I want to use my website repository, I need to use what here? URI. If I go inside it, do we have any images here? It says here, no images. So what we need to do now? We need to push the image from here to ECR. So, but do this EC2 instance has a permission to push the image to the ECR? No. So what we need to create for this? I am role. What I need to create? I am role and then attach to this EC2 instance so that it can push to the ECR. So what is the trusted entity? EC2, and our role is ECR. Not KCR, ECR. Okay. What I was to do? Okay, role. So role. So here the trusted entity is EC2, and next here ECR, your KCR. If you put ECR, it might not come. So Malika is asking, we don't require role to push images Docker to Docker Hub, right? What is the relation between AWS and Docker Hub? So you can just push it. If you just need to authenticate to the Docker Hub, that's it. You don't need to have any role. So as we are doing within the AWS, we need to have what? Role. So guys, so we have Amazon EC2 container, this container registry full access. This one. Amazon EC2 container registry full access. So select that. You can pull it and push it, Harish. You can pull it local and then push it to ECR. So here I call it as a what is it? ECR role. By the way, I wrote everything here. Okay, so I'm writing everything here. Okay, don't worry. Okay, ECR role. And then I need to attach this to this machine. ECR role. Okay, now. Okay, see. Now this machine has permissions now or not? So I have my Docker images here. So this image, I want to push it to where now? ECR. So how do we push? We need to have the commands or not? First of all, remember in the Docker Hub also, if you want to push, first you need to do Docker login. Remember? So first what we need to do, Docker login. So that meaning you are authenticating to the Docker Hub first, and then you are pushing to the particular repository inside it. In Docker Hub also we create a repository and then we push the images inside it, correct or not? Then a Riaz repository, right? So here also in you go here to our ECR repositories, this website repository, select this, and you see view push commands. You know to remember, if you click on it, the commands are already available here. So you just need to use this command and then copy paste it. So what the first command is doing, AWS ECR, get login password, blah, 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 Docker login, all these things. So basically you're authenticating to the ECR. As you have the role attached in the backend, so this will get authenticated automatically. See, if you hit it enter, you see login succeeded. So the first command is for what purpose? So to retrieve authentication token and authenticate your Docker client to your registry. As we have role attached, for that reason it got succeeded. Next, what we need to do? We need to tag the image here. So here, Docker build -t website dot. So it is creating it is building the image. Okay. And then it is tagging the image now. How it is tagging website colon latest, and it is tagging to, remember in our Docker Hub trainer /IB bank colon latest I used to tag, right? Similarly, Docker tag, you are doing it here. Okay. If I do here Docker images, so do I have the image here now with this? And now this image, what I'm doing, I'm pushing it to the ECR. What's the command? Docker push to this repository. And you see this, now it is pushing. So if I go to ECR, if I close this, if I refresh it, no need to build again, Anup. Yeah. So do you see the images here? Latest image, just now we pushed it. Where are we using URL? Which URL you are using here? Which URL, ma? URI, yeah. URI, I told you that. This one you've already used, no, in the push. This one, this one. Okay. This is the URL. So this is our repository. And then Rituraj, see again here. This is for login purpose. And then we already built it and kept it ready, our image. But if you have only the Docker file, you're using Docker build -t website dot, that means it will create an image called website. Yes or no? Okay. And then this website image you are tagging as with this name. And this one you are pushing it to the repository. Same thing what we did in Docker, same thing here. Okay. So if you go inside, we have our image readily available here. Yes. So everyone understood how to push it to ECR? Okay. So now what we need to do is we need to go to ECS and then we need to do the project. We need to create the containers over there. So to talk about the ECR, ECS, so we need to understand a little bit about the architecture here. Okay. In ECS, what we need to create first? Cluster. What we need to create here? Cluster. And then next we need to create what here? Task definition. Say that task definition contains the entire information of what you need to do. Right? After creating task definition, what we need to create? A service. And then of course you need to create a task and then you need to create a service then. So this is architecture. See here. If you see, where is our image? Our image is in ECR, and that image is pulled by our task definition. And of course, we will create a cluster first. Inside the cluster, what we have? Service. Inside the service, here we have something called Fargate. Say that. Fargate meaning here, it is a serverless. What is that? If you go for EC2, again, it will launch this ECS will launch a EC2 instance, and then it will install Docker engine, and it will manage by itself. How we are doing now? But EC2 instance is managed by us. But if you selected EC2 infrastructure, this ECS will launch EC2 instance, it deploy all the containers over there. But here, I want to show it with EC2 we have already done. I want to show you something different with what? Fargate. That is completely serverless. That meaning what? Serverless. The entire infrastructure is managed by AWS. So you need to create a task definition and provide it so that automatically inside the Fargate, so tasks will run. What is that here? Task. What does the task contain? Containers inside it. So do we need to worry about the containers here? No. Everything is completely managed by what? AWS only. So first we need to create what here? Cluster. After that, what we need to create? Task definition here. Yes, correct. So first we'll do these two things now, and later we'll go to these two. What is the first thing that we need to do? Tell me. Create cluster. Next, task definition. Should we do it now? So let's go to which one? ECS, Elastic Container Service. On the left side, do you see this cluster? So select that. Do we have any clusters here? No. Let's go and create what here? Cluster. And then cluster name, I call it as our website cluster. Which one is here? You can give any name. Website cluster. Okay. Infrastructure. What is it here? Infrastructure. Infrastructure, which one we want to select here? Fargate. Fargate is serverless or not? Fargate is serverless. Otherwise, can you go with the EC2 instance also? Yes. If you select EC2 instance, what will happen? Our ECS will go and launch a EC2 instance and all the containers will be inside it, which is managed by AWS itself. But we already done with EC2. Let's go and learn something new, which is here. Fargate. This is another service here. So Fargate. So yeah, it is a serverless. Okay. So next come down. So basically here, if you want to do the monitoring, you can do the monitoring just by here. I'm just what I'm doing. Turn off encryption if you want, tags if you want. simply go ahead and click on here, create cluster. So cluster creation is in progress. So this cluster creation is done in the cloud formation where, so our AWS uses our own cloud formation and then create it automatically. Okay, so cluster is created on here. Okay, go inside the cluster. So cluster is active, ARN and all. And what we have here, we have service and we have task. So we need to create task and then we need to create what? Service. So task is nothing but where your containers run. How does your container run? We need to provide the information, right? That entire information will be inside the task definition. Which one? Task definition. So before I create the task, what I need to create now? Task definition. So where is the task definition? Here. Click on it. And then what we do here? Create new task definition. Okay. And do you see here task definition? I call it as you can give any name. I call it as website task df definition. You can give any name. Which infrastructure? Which is infrastructure type here? Fargate. Launch type is what here? Fargate. So it is using Linux. How many CPUs do you need? One CPU. Fargate is a little bit costly. Okay. So make sure that you have minimum things here. So I'm just going for 0.25. 0.2. 2 is greater. 0.25 is which is smaller? 2 is smaller. 0.25 is smaller. Like this one. Okay. So I'm just going for here 0.25, 3 GB RAM. Our entire course we are finished with 1 GB RAM, T2 micro, right? So let's go with what here? How much? 0.5 GB RAM. Okay. 0.5 GB RAM. Okay. Okay. Because we are not going for heavy infrastructure, right? We are just going for test. So, but in real time, can you go for bigger based on your application? Here, AWS Ambani areas. Okay. So task size is dependent upon your application. Your application is very big application, then go for the bigger thing. If you have big application, if you're going for 0.25 and then 0.5 GB RAM, AWS will say. Okay. So next year, what we need to create on here? Task role. So it is your wish. So by default here, task execution role will be there. You just select that here. So a task IAM role allows container in the task to make API request to AWS services. Here we are using plain our HTML, right? So our HTML is talking to any AWS services here. No, for that reason here task role actually none technically. But if you want to talk to another AWS services, by default 2 services will not talk, right? So for that reason you need to have a role. So if you want, select it. Otherwise, no, it's not important. So task placement are not supported because AWS Fargate will automatically take the entire infrastructure. Okay, what is here? Container 1. So how many containers is that you need? You can mention it over here. So container. So what is your container name? I call it as website. What is this here? Image URI. Which one I need to put it here? Go to ECR and then this URI, no? Because you are telling this is the image that you should be using it. This image, particular image. Okay. So I'm just because we have the tag also, right? So this is essential container. Main container, yes or no? This is a main container. Yeah. So this is not a private registry. Okay. So if you want to store secrets in secret manager, then use credential to refer the images in the private registry. So if you have the private registry, you need to do the authentication or not. So authentication, we can keep the authentication secret manager in AWS. Let's not do all the things here. Port number, which one? It is fine. TCP is fine. So port name, no need to put any port name. If you want to put HTTP, you can put it. Otherwise, here. So port mapping is done already. Remember, manually we used to write the Docker run command and then -p we map the port, right? But here everything you're doing it in the GUI. ECR URI specific to image, 100% yes, Sumalika. So guys, every image will have its own URI or not? In one repository, we'll have only one image or multiple images? Multiple images. So you need to specifically take the image URI, not the repository URI. So you can allocate, guys, resources limits if you want. How many CPUs, how much GB RAM. Remember, in Docker, we have learned about the resources. We can limit the CPU and the memory for each container. In Kubernetes also we have learned. In Docker also we have learned. If you want, you can do that here. Do you want any logging here? If you want login, keep it logs. Otherwise, no. So basically, but you see all these are all optional. So if at all you want, you can restart. Remember restart policies? Restart policies we have learned. If you want any health checks, any don't depend timeouts here, network settings, Docker. Remember entry point, command CMD if you want to run any commands inside it, right? We can label it also. Where a component called label author we used to put it, right? And if you want any ephemeral storage, you can put it like temporary storage if you want Docker to download anything, right? Remember volumes? Remember in Docker I added EBS volumes. If you want here, you can add the volumes in the storage section, right? So logs, CloudWatch logs, enable it. So basically, let's go ahead and then click on here. Create. What are you creating here? You're creating the, what are you creating? Task definition. So what does the task definition contain? Task definition contain your launch type is a Fargate, and then your operating system information, all these things, and then container information, image information, port information. Yes or no? Where is our application? Where is our application? Inside the image. Where is image? In ECR. Okay, let's click on here, create. So task definition got created on here. Okay, online. task definition got created. After creating task definition, what we need to create now? We need to create a task. Create a task and then service. So let's go here. Task definition. Go to cluster. So here task definitions we created. Are there any tasks running here for us? No. So what we go inside this, and then what we need to create here? Task. After that, you expose the service outside. First we need to create a task which has a container running there. So what is it? Run new task. So which one? Launch type we need to select. Which is the launch type we are using here? Fargate. Okay. So application deployment configuration. You are creating a task. You are creating a service. Let's create a task first, and then we'll create a service next. So if you want to create a task, we already created a task definition. So which is the task definition we created? Website task df. So this task definition contains all our image information, port information. So task definition revision, you can revision automatically will take how many times can you modify your task definition or not? How many times you modify it? How many times you create the same name? Those many versions you will get it here. These are tasks. How many tasks that you want to run? Task nothing. It contains container inside it. You want 1 or 2? 2? Your wish. Your wish. Your wish. These many tasks will contain. Yes, Sumalika. So here we have something called what here? Task group. So if you want to group the task, we can create multiple tasks in the same thing, right? If you want to group website group, you can group it. Otherwise, not required. Coming to networking. So your task or containers will be created in which we don't want here. 1C. We always remove 1C, right? Remove the 1C. And which security group? Default security group, and public IP is on if you want. Volumes. Volumes need to configure in the task definition only. Oh, that's fine. So what are you doing? You are clicking on here, create. Let's click on create. So guys, you all understand how to create a task here now. How many tasks will be created now? 2 tasks. You see this here? 2 pending. If you go inside it, if you go inside task and you see this, 2 tasks are getting created. Okay, so if you have created the task with EC2, what with EC2? EC2 might have launched. But here its infrastructure is completely managed by AWS. Which infrastructure we are using here? Fargate. That's why you don't see any infrastructure is completely happening in the backend. Do you see it's already running? So guys, here, if you go inside one of the tasks, and do you see the IP address here? Task is like a instance only, right? Inside that you have the containers running. So now my task is running or not? So each task will have its own IP addresses. But is it good to expose that IP address outside? Okay, I'm taking the IP address and I'm putting it here. So what should I get here? Huh? What you got website, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Any commands did we run till now? Click, right? So that meaning here our bodyguard is working. So each task has our own containers inside it or not? See? So now will you give this IP address to the customer? No. For that, what we need to create now? Service. What we need to create now? Service. Should we go and create a service now? Online, you getting now? So let's go and create a service. How to create a service? Go to the so 0 pending to running. For high availability, Nayan. So let's go inside it. And then do you see here? Guys, here we created what? Task here. And then what we need to create here? Sorry. Anytime you can select any of the task, and then what you can do? Stop also, right? And then you can run anytime new task. Let's say you have modified it. Let's say you have modified the task definition. You need to create the task again or not? Yes or no? Let's say you have modified your application. If you modify the application, new image will be created or not? So new image need to be created. When the new image need to be created, in the task definition, you have given the image information there. Yes or no? So you create a new task definition. When the new task definition got created, new task needs to be created here with your new application. So if you want, at that time you create a new task here. Okay. Now what we need to create? We create a service. Let's create a service. Service meaning if you want to expose it to outside, then we go and create a service. But before I create a service, how do you expose outside? Using load balancer, right? So we need to create a load balancer. Service will not have that much power to go and create a load balancer with target group. So what we create? We'll create a load balancer and target group. First, what I need to create? Target group or load balancer? Target group. First, we need to create what? Target group. That is CI/CD we need to do, Somalika. So we need to do, Somalika. So before I create a service, CI/CD man, Nayan. Yeah. So let's go to EC2. Yes, it will. No downtime required. So here, what I was about to do, target groups. So we need to create an empty target group or not? So let's create a target group. So target group here. You need to, do we have instances? What do you have? In that target, how do you mention? We have IP address, right? So we need to go with what? IP address. So go with IP address and target group name. What's the target group name? Website, TG, give some name. Okay. And then default VPC. And health checks, let's put slash only because we don't have a, we have, but if you put slash, because when you put IP address, it's working, right? You don't need to put slash index.html because it is working on the root already. So go here and then click on next. Do you have anything here? IP address to select. So choose network default. By default, it is here. So we'll create a empty target group. So, and we create a load balancer also. Create load balancer. We'll go to application load balancer. Website, ELB, internet facing. I'll go with 1A, 1B, and here, yes or no? Create load balancer. Okay, now, online, you're getting what I'm doing? So now, let's go and create what? Now, we need to create what? Service. So go to cluster, go to website cluster, go to service and create service. Okay, so let's go on top. You tell me here. So which one I need to use here? Launch type and then forget. This time service or task? Service. So what's the task definition here? Website. Service name, it's up to you. You can give. I call it as website service. Okay, no, website service. Then service type here is what? How many replicas? How many desired tasks that you need here? Your wish. How many you need? 4. Your wish. 2, 3, 4. How many you want? You create a replicas out of it. Okay. And then availability zone is fine. Deployment options. You see here, blue green deployment. Okay. And during failure. Then networking. Remove this. This is fine. And then here, we use the load balancing or not? Let's use load balancing. Which load balancer? Application. What is the container name we have created? Website. Create new load balancer, existing. So which load balancer? Here. Existing listener is also there. We created the listener. And then the target group also we created, right? Website TG. You can create the load balancer target group here also directly, right? Okay. So path is fine. Okay. Now next is what here? Service auto scaling. So we need to have auto scaling or not? Okay. So what is the minimum number of tasks that you want to do? For example, minimum 2, maximum give 6. Okay. So next is target tracking policy. So policy name, you can give anything. I can call it as here, for example, sample policy. So which one? Average CPU utilization. How much if you want to give, for example, 70%. So automatically scale out, scaling will happen. And turn off scaling. You don't want scaling? We want, right? Don't turn off. Volumes, it should be there. Guys, is it clear how to create a service? Online? If you go up, let me explain again. So we are creating a service here. Launch type is what here? Fargate. And you see this here? Service. Task definition is this. Service name is this. How many tasks you are creating here for this service? 4. And then networking. And you have selected load balancers, right? And then you have given the auto scaling on it. That's it. And click on create. Understood? No? Online. రోజు 12 వరకు పడుకుంటే రాదా మీకు? అప్పటి వరకు ఏం చేస్తారా? ఫోన్లో ఉంటారా? Okay. So it is creating the service. So do you see this here? Service name, website service we created. And how many? 4 tasks. So do you see here in progress? We go inside this. See, these are the tasks that are getting created here. So refresh. All are running already. See? This is a container task and these are 4 tasks are running. So you can see the logs. Do you see the logs here? You can check the logs here, right? It's very going ulta what? Huh? Okay. Yes. Yes, Nayan, correct. We created 2 tasks initially manually, right? Now this service is creating it automatically. Good. So my service is active now. So 6 are running. 6 are running. Why 6 are running? 2 we created manually, right? And then service has created what here? 4. So go inside it and the service is running. 4 out of 4 tasks are running. Everything is perfectly fine. So, and if you go to our load balancer, so if you take our load balancer here, it should be working now or not? Let's go to our load balancer. ECS is costlier than EC2, but we go with ECS. That's correct. Fargate is a little bit costlier compared to EC2, but if you want easy management, then go for Fargate. So if you want to go with the cost optimization related, then go for EC2. It's up to you. Somewhere we have missed it, right? So no. In security groups, we have all traffic. So while creating the service, target group is healthy. All there, no issues. Why it is showing this? I see load balancer, everything is so far. Guys, you try to access that. No, it's in security groups. I have a see, I have all traffic now. Somewhere. Oh, it's working there for you? Acha, so makes me some problem with my network then. Abhi bodyguard hole. Why you're making me hole here? So for you it's working, right? So that's fine. So maybe some network issue in my service only, Sunita. Okay, fine. So it is working, right? So that's fine. So I don't know why. So there might be some. I don't have any other browser. Okay. Oh, I got the issue now. Okay. If I copy paste this, our so-called Google Chrome is automatically redirecting HTTP to HTTPS. If I hit this, what is here? Remove that yes, hit it. That is the issue. చెప్పాను already. Tuesday. Okay. So fine. You understand. Okay, is it clear now? Okay. So everyone understood how to set it up? Yes, one task, one container inside it. So if you want multiple tasks, can you have multiple based on the traffic? Harish is asking, so why you are creating these many tasks? So our load balancer is sending the traffic to multiple IPs in the backend. Each IP is a task or not? So how much traffic that you need, those many tasks you need to get created. Yes or no? Okay, fine. So guys, here we have set up. No, Rituraj, task I showed you how to create a task initially. Then what I did, so later I created a service. Service will also create the task. But see, I showed you two things here. First, I created ECS cluster. After creating the ECS cluster, what did I create? Task definition. That task definition contains what? All your image information, port information, and the containers and everything information will be there inside the task definition. After that, what I created? Task. Is it not mandatory to go to task? You can directly go to the service. I wanted to show you that if you create a task, it will run only with the IP address. But can you give this IP address to the customer? No. For that reason, I created a service. And when you create a service, so I created a target group load balancer, and then while creating a service, I have attached to our target group and the load balancer, and it started working. And while creating a service, I have given the auto scaling group also. So based on the traffic, so automatically your number of tasks will increase. Got it? Okay. Nice. So let's move on. I closed it. So we created all these things here now, but let us set up CI/CD for this ECS. So I have my code in my GitHub. So if I modify my code, hey, Dinesh, you didn't understood? Guys, everyone understood? What is there to show in Painter? We have seen here. Okay, see here. So what we created first? We created a cluster. Yes or no? First we created a cluster. So we need to create a cluster here. Which cluster? ECS cluster. So after that, we need to create a task definition. Task definition, you can think like a Docker file, for example. Because that's a guy that everything it has inside it. So what does the task definition contain? It contains all the image information, port information, container information, everything will be there inside the task definition. This is important. So if you want to change anything, you need to change it here. So after that, what we need to do, if you want to have any internal task, then create the internal task. Otherwise, directly go and create a service. So before creating a service, we will create a target group and we create a load balancer. So while creating a service, we attach this target group and load balancer to the service with auto scaling group. And then this service will go and create what task? How many tasks? Based on your auto scaling group, it will create a task. So in desired capacity, how much I have given there? 4. That's why it's created 4. If you and minimum, how much I have given? 2. So that meaning if nobody is accessing, my task will get stopped automatically and it will come to only 2. If the number of if the traffic increase, then my number of tasks will get. What does the task contain? Task contain our containers inside it. Is it clear? That entire infrastructure is managed by Fargate. Was that? Is it clear now? So task definition will get the image information from where? From ECR. Yes or no? We are putting the URI, right? I showed you the logs also. If you want to troubleshoot, you see logs here. But you understand, no, Dinesh? Okay. Online, is this clear? Okay. So what you need to do is, can you just go through? Guys, okay. In each and every step, I'm asking clear. Now, Nayan, you're asking to go through the task definition again. What does the task definition contains? Image information. No. So here, let's go and create one more task definition. I'll not create. You tell me how to create it. On the left side, what we have here? Task definition. So we already created one website task definition. Tell me how to create one here. So create task definition. And what does it contain? Give the task name here. And then which one you're using here? AWS and then services. And then you see this here? Container. So you put your container name here. And what is, you need to put the URI? URI, you need to connect to your ECR or not. So get the ECR. And then you do the port mapping here. That's it. What is there? And you mention here resource allocation limit for this container. And then if at all you want, add the login. We have seen the logs here also. So container level AWS logs group. But guys, I would recommend, just in case, say, let's say for example, someone is asking, so how to log into the container inside it. Of course, this is the Fargate, which is completely serverless. But if at all you are interested to log into the containers inside it, so you have a command, ECS command from console, you can log in. But for that, you need to get the task ID, you need to get the container name, you need to get the entire information, and you can run the command. If at all you are interested. Harish, okay? So, and do you see this here? If you want, go through all this information and then create the containers. Okay? Nayan, is it clear, Nayan? Okay? So we need to go on. So we need to move. So what is the next thing that we need to do here? So we need to do the CI/CD. So CI/CD yesterday we have done already. So what are the things that we need to create here? Code build. First, what we need to do? Code build. And then here I wrote everything for you. So we go and what we do? We go to the code build, and then what we do? We create a code pipeline. Inside the code pipeline, we use a code build, and then we'll deploy to the ECS automatically. Use code deploy, and then we'll deploy to the ECS. So let us go and create a code build first. Okay, I'm just asking, do you have any confusion in ECS online? Still you have any confusion? I felt that you are a little bit confused somewhere. No, I'm getting more questions. That's the reason. Online, clear enough. If you still have questions, if you still understood anything not understood, let me know. There's nothing harm. I'll repeat it. Yes. Okay, should we go and create a project now? Okay, tell me this here. Create. What's the project? I go with your website. So what is here? Default project. Okay, and then source. Which is your source now here? Where is your code? Code. Code in again. Okay, so what is here? Hey, not ECR. ECR is contains what? Image. Here, I'm talking about CI/CD. That means the source, your actual code is there in the GitHub, right? And then we'll write a build spec.yaml file. That YAML file, I'll show you that it will create the images automatically and upload it to ECR. I'll show you that. So here, what is here? GitHub. Okay, what is the repository? Website, no? Is a website. And then this is fine. This is fine. Webhook, which one? For sure. Keep all these things default. Service role. Okay, so service role here. You can create a new service role, automatically create it. Otherwise, you can create your own service role. But here I'm just going with a code build -ACR role something. Otherwise, you can create the role which has a proper permissions. So I already created a role here for you, but I'm not using it. Do you see here? So code build ECR new. But if you want that, okay, code build ECR new, right? So let's go to IAM. What's that? Code build ECR new, right? You see, it contains all these permissions. Otherwise, you can have your own. You can mention your own name here. So let us create it. Let's see whether it create or not. Okay. Next one. This is all fine. Here is what? Build spec. What is here? Build spec. So build spec name you need to mention. But where is this build spec? In our GitHub repository or not? So let me show you what is there in that build spec. This is build spec.yaml file. Do you see this here? It contains. I'll copy this and put it into a notepad. Don't what do you call relay everything on the developers. You should be able to manage it by yourself a little bit. Do you see this here? What is the variable? This you need to change this build spec.yaml file. You need to put your own details. So here I'm putting my own. What is this? Account ID, repository name. What's the repository name I created? Website. What's the container name I have given? Website. What's the cluster name I have given? Website cluster, and then default is region this, and then image tag is latest. So this information should be correct. because our CI/CD need to build it, right? So I'm giving the building information. So build your code build will take this build spec YAML and it will build it. What is the building? Image. What is building? Image. In order to build the image, you need to get the entire information or not. So now, first of all, you need to do ECR login. Remember we did already. First ECR login, you do it, and then what you need to do? Docker build, Docker tag, and then Docker push. So and then artifacts, it is creating that image definition.json. You need to copy this. So this build spec.yaml file will help you to build the image and push it to ECR. Whenever you modify any code in the GitHub, what will happen? Code build will run or not? Code build will run, and then it will automatically create the image, build the image, tag it, and then what it will do? It will push it to the ECR. In the task definition, we already given our website colon latest. So whenever any new image is pushing to ECR, it will tag it as latest only. So do you need to modify the task definition? No need, because task definition they have mentioned that latest tag. So this is build spec is giving pushing the image to the ECR with the latest tag. So in the task definition, you don't need to do anything. So you just what our CI/CD will do is code build will help you to build and then push the image to ECR, and code deploy will deploy the new task with the task definition. We'll see this now. But is it clear this build spec here? Online? Nice. So what we do here? Let's go and put what's the file name we need to put here? Build spec.yaml. Build spec.yaml. No spelling mistakes, nothing. Carefully. So it is there under any directory? No. So it is not in the directory. So it is in the repository directly. So Malika. So for that reason, we can directly put it. We don't have any folder. Okay. So if you want active can you put it to S3 if required? But I'm not putting it anything. Logs. Do you want any logs here? So just uncheck the logs and then simply click on create, build, project. Same thing, webhook, but we already created a webhook yesterday. So this repository different, right? So we need to create a webhook for this repository. Yeah. So that webhook is fine. So what we do is, should we start the build? If I start the build, what will happen now? If I start the build, what will happen now? If I start the build, what will happen? Online, tell me. If I start the build, what will happen? I take the code from GitHub. Sumalika, it will create war file. From where do you get the war file? It's not a Java code, right? We are not using Maven here. Okay, tell me, if I click on start build, what will happen? So we created a code build right now. What we have given information? What are the information we have given? That meaning GitHub information we have given and build spec information we have given. What is there in the build spec? Just now explain everything. What is there in the build spec? YAML code. What is there in YAML code? It is building the image, creating the image, pushing the image to ECR. That is builder. You're getting it? You're missing somewhere? You're missing somewhere? Processing time. Okay, see, again I'm telling you. So Jana, see nothing. So here what I'm doing, code build I'm doing. What is it here? Code build. So code build, while creating a code build, what I did here, I have given the source as GitHub. And then I have given the build spec.yaml file. What does the build spec.yaml file contain? See here. What it is doing? It is logging to the ECR. And what is doing? It is building it and it is tagging it with what name? Repository name. We have given these are variables. What are this? What is the repository name? This. What is the container name? This. Cluster name? This. Account ID this. So because we need that for ECR to push. So what is doing? It is building, it is tagging, and what is doing? It is pushing. So if I run this start build, what will happen now? It will fetch the code from GitHub and then it will run the build spec.yaml file. And what does the build spec.yaml file contain? It build the image, it tag the image, and then end of the day it will push the image to ECR. So in ECR, we need to have the updated image. Yes or no? So here somewhere at level it has pushed, right? Yes or no? So now if I start the build, so what I need to do? I'll start the build, what will happen? It will push the image to ECR. That is what code build will do now. Okay, now understood? Let's do. Exactly. Nayan is asking, is code build is a build tool in AWS? In the Nayan yesterday you didn't join. We spent 3 hours. That's the reason why you're asking these questions. Yesterday we covered a very big project. Oh, this is what the status, sir? Failed. Will fail. Let's check. See the logs here and Okay, see here. The error here clearly failed to get access token from code connection. Access denied to the connection. So that meaning download source. So this is not getting connected to GitHub. It's not connected to the GitHub. So that is the error that we got here. So let's edit it, the project. So here is the problem. So it doesn't contain. That's fine. Let's go with the public repository. This is our public repository only, no? So let's update it as public repository. Start build. Roles. It might have created a role. Okay, so let's do one thing. So let me use my role that is created. So I'm using this role. Why is there access denied? What my account? I don't have code connections. What is this code connections? Access denied to connection. They are in code connections. No, this what do we get with this URL? Nothing. It's related to the role only. Okay, so probably in the role, CodeBuild is CodeBuild. Yeah, just hold on. So what is the role it is using? It's all about role only. Looks like this guy. So CodeBuild ECR new. Let's go to IAM. So ECR container registry, container registry power user, secret manager. This is fine. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's do one thing. So let's delete this project and then recreate it again. Let's update to it carefully. Okay, let's do again. Okay, you also look at, I might overlook sometimes. Project name, I call it as website. Okay, default is fine. There's nothing here. This is here, GitHub only. And repository is fine because it's loading. It's correct only now, website only, right? Okay, website only. And then, okay, so this one I go with the push. Install configuration is not on demand, all this fine, all this fine. Here I'll go with what? Existing role. So I go with this ECR new. Okay, let's see. And you would build spec dot YML. No artifacts, no logs. Let's create a build. Let's start the build. So what I felt is this is not related to the role. This is related to the connections Git. So it is not downloading the source. So it is not related to the role at all. So we need to check the token. Hold on. Connections. So this guy has some problem. So I'm using so this token might have issue. So let's create a new connection to GitHub. So call it as will permissions connect to GitHub. So you need to do like this if you want to. Yesterday I told you, no? Yeah. So it's issue with connecting to the GitHub. Okay, GitHub connector. I'm giving read-write access. So connect. Okay. So I have this connection. So I'll just remove my old connections. So inside that, inside this code build, let me open here. it is giving the error here as details. What is the connection token? CE827. CE827. This guy has a problem. Okay, so build projects. Quickly, I'll create a fresh one again. Create project. Site. Here, GitHub. Okay, here which one is that? Website, and then push up. And then existing role, I go with this role. Use build spec. Build spec dot YML. No artifacts. That's fine. Create build project. That's fine. And then let's go ahead and then start build. Best details. Let's check now. What's that, Karthik? Good. Code star connections. It's a new thing or what? This is a new thing, yeah. You're either okay. Let's see. Code star. What is that role we are using? Code build is new, right? It's too much, yeah. Code star service role. So even ChatGPT is also online. So I'm just putting the message there. You also try. Let me also check. Fail to get access token. Code connections. Code bit full access is there. Website buildspec.yaml. Okay, what is it in the buildspec.yaml? Oh, you want to put the folder name? Here. No, there's no directory. No, I don't think so. Where? This one? Then where? No, that was not the one. So online experience, write out. Meanwhile, I'll also check. Somewhere. Yes, Sunita, I tried that code star. Okay, the best thing what I can do is here what? Add admin permissions. Acha, something change, yeah, code change. Okay, I think we need to remove that. Okay, it's a role problem only. Remove that website, right? No, I think we have resolved the issue. Now let's see the magic. Boom. Hey, ఇప్పుడు gonna download resource. If you are bad, I'm your dad. It's done. So the problem is with what here? So the problem is with the permissions only. Okay, so successfully completed. So what I've given the admin role there. So it's internal only. You can give admin role, but I want it to be very more precise to real time. You understand? For that reason, I don't want to give the admin permissions. I just wanted to show you exactly in real time what kind of permissions that we should be giving it. So it reverts to me. So the only thing is either give the admin permissions or find out there is one more permission that it requires somehow. Right? So that is asking for it. And it is very common that in AWS, somewhere every time they might change something. So it's very common. So previously it worked, now it didn't work. Now it didn't work. For that reason, I have given the admin permissions, but that's fine. So that's the troubleshooting that we have done. Okay, good. So code build is done, right? And then what we need to create now? Yeah. So let's go and create a code pipeline directly. So there I'll ask code deploy. So let's go and click on here, pipeline. Okay. See here, click on create pipeline. Which one here? Build custom pipeline. Click on next. So what's the pipeline name? ECR, CI, CD. Give some name. My role is only. So when I get this, okay. So it is going with the okay. So let it create its own role. That's fine. Okay. Huh? Maybe. Let's see. We also use existing. That's fine. It's not happening every time. No, let's see. We need to accept the challenges. Okay. So fine. So let's go here. Next. What's the source provider here? GitHub via. Yeah. Choose the connection. I go with the full permission here. And the connection was not a problem before. I deleted and changed it, right? That was not the problem. So repository, which is the repository here? Website. Branch. I have master branch there. I have master branch. And event type is for sure. Branch is what here? Master. That's fine. Click on next. And then here build providers. Code build. Just now we created a project inside it. So here single wheel artifact is fine. Click on here. Next. Do you need any test here? Now click on next. And code deploy. Which one is our code deploy here? Think and tell me. So where we need to deploy here? ECS. So go to the ECS and cluster name we have already created. Website cluster. Service name we already created. Website service. And you see this image definition file. So image definition file in the build spec. Do you see on the here at the end? So you just need to copy that and paste it here. So it describes your entire service container name, image information, tag information, the build spec. The JSON file is output that you get it. So click on next, and then let's go. You understand what is this image definition.json? It's a output file. Whenever you build it, you'll get output, right? Previously, never we used to get var file. Here we'll get JSON file. So this output contains all your image, tag, entire information, right? So we have given that here. So now click on here. What create pipeline? So if I create pipeline, what will happen? It will take a source. It will go. It will. Yes. Do you see this here now? Source. It will take it from the source. It will build it and it will deploy where into our ECS. Let's wait. But guys, it's good to get the issues errors. No, we will know how to troubleshoot it. So guys, while it is deploying it, so see build completed, and now it is deploying to where? ECS. So what it do? It will go and deploy. So new task, you might go here, and there will be a change coming in the tasks. And by the way, you see the images? Got updated or not? Just now it got updated. 1239. Just now got updated. And then in the here, if you go to cluster, do you see this here? There's something happening here, guys. Here one pending. So it is updating our cluster or not? Guys online, is updating the cluster or not? So do you see this here? 2/2 pending. So that means it is doing something there. So go to task. Do you see? So previous task now it is activating. So it will be stopping the old one. It will be creating a new task here. Guys, you got it? Getting it? Whenever you do any modification in our index.html in GitHub, again what will happen? Again, this source will execute, and then again build will happen, and again deployment will happen. So once you deploy it, so what do you need to check? Check your load balancer. Yes or no? See, now it is deploying in the backend, but still I'm able to access it or not? Any downtime? No. So now, whenever you do any modifications, guys, whenever you do any modifications in the GitHub, right, automatically code pipeline will start. In the code pipeline, code build will happen. That means take the code from the source, code will happen, and then it will deploy to the ECS automatically. So when it is deployed to the ECS, it will remove the old task and it will create a new task with the new image that is getting from the ECR. Got it? Understood this project? Completed. We have successfully completed the project. Clear? Online, is this clear? So this will take a lot of time here, but you can do it at home and wait for some time. And then what do you do? Again, you update our index.html, right? Where? In your GitHub. Do you see this here? Index.html. You go and modify something here in index.html. Just commit it. That's it. And what you need? Automatically, code pipeline will start. Online, clear? Will you able to do this project? Which project? How is the project? How's the project? Huh? Online, how's the project? So guys, yesterday it was super project and it is super duper project. Now it is Sham is saying yesterday was good. Yesterday, that is one other type of projects, right? So this is your CI/CD on your ECS and then Fargate ECR concept, right? So and tomorrow, will you come online? Project CI/CD on ECR and ECS. Okay, just give me a second. Just give me a second. Yeah, no problem. Yeah. All right, can I get the final CC for today? So I'll